Okay, I think we I think we finally made it here. Welcome everybody to the
Yeah.
950 edition of Coffee Sessions. Man, what a cluster! What a cluster! I am telling you. As if y'all can't tell, I am out here on my deck. The weather's already starting to get hot, um, but I don't know what's going on. I've had a bunch of technical difficulties and I've restarted my router and done all the normal things mortal humans do when they have computer problems. And then when I could get the internet to work good enough to run a speed test, it said the internet connection was very slow. So I'm thinking it may be Charter Spectrum's issue that's causing me some headaches this morning. But
No,
we're
no
we're
doubt.
here. We're live. I'm out on the back deck. I've got the using the old phone as a hotspot, like I did for the reunion. That seemed to work pretty well. Uh, so here we are. Got Javi joining me. He's doing the making everybody dizzy. Uh, swing that camera around. But
Wee!
let me check out the comments here. Let's see who we got here. We've got Mark Lindsay, CNC in the house. What is he saying here? Nope, flooded it. Okay. We got Terry Dobbs watching on the Facebook. Morning, cold and drizzle. Man, I tell you, I can't even remember the last time it rained here. How you doing, Troy from Michigan? Good to see you on here. David Crook. We finally have a name. Yeah, I'm going with coffee sessions for right now. That's although I may, I said yesterday or the other day, I very seldom have a third cup. I usually just drink two. Today may be a 3 cup day because it's not getting started off real good. Let's see. Let me see if I can say this guy's name right today. Jeff Nearcorn. Yeah, I think that's it. How you doing, Jeff? Harry's Place. All this clicking is a lot slower than air, but it's working, so I'm not going to complain. Mark Lindsay says it's a balmy 46 here in Southern Oregon. Man, I tell you, I'd take one of those right now. We had, well, it's going to be hot again this morning. I caught a little of the weather this morning, and it's going to be hot again today. And we hit like 98 yesterday. Set another record. It's craziness, I'm telling you. Rusty Taylor in the house. How you doing, Rusty? Let's see who else we got here. Kevin Els. How you doing, Kevin? I don't have my little stream deck, so I can't do that one button push where I ask everybody where you're from. But if you're out there watching, what's coffee of the day? Well, same old instant coffee I normally have, but it's I've already gone through about 2 cups while I was trying to get this silly thing to work.
I'm just testing my range here. I've
Okay.
got take a look, Dave. Behind me, you see the ladder here?
Yeah. Is that where
I've
you
got
got
an
your?
extension. I have my phone hotspot on top of the ladder, and I
Yeah.
have my other phone, the old phone. Since it's an Apple, it's actually working with this. It's getting hot as crazy, but
Yeah.
yeah, when I get low on charge, I'll go inside to the office that you saw there in the this thing in the shed, and wonder how far I can go with this.
Well, just keep walking. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Uh, Jeff Nearcorn says global warming. Yeah, maybe. I don't know about all that, but we're looking for a toasty 64 degrees Fahrenheit. Man, that's perfect weather. I have so much stuff to do outside. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Um, as I mentioned the other day, we have a burn ban from May 1st to August 1st. So we're not allowed to burn anything. And that's how I get rid of everything, all my little wood scraps and my skeletons and all that. I've got a little pull wagon that's probably got 20 or 30 skeletons on it sitting down there beside the fire pit ready to go. I've got probably at least that many again propped up in the garage that I need to get. I mean, I just got scrap wood everywhere. When you can't burn anything, it's
I think the
it's
log
either
pile
that
is
or
as far as I can go.
okay. Gareth Hall says good morning. How are you, Gareth? Hitch Hamilton in the house. How you doing, Hitch? Hope everything's well down there in Florida. Mark Lindsay, CNC, says our burn ban was lifted last week, and of course I've already hauled off everything burnable. Yeah, I just let mine collect. I mean, it's a mess, but yeah, I don't like having to haul it off and fill up the landfill with it. I figure it's probably easier to burn it up, and if I get a good fire going. I try to find a crisp fall day if there is such a thing in Georgia. Maybe towards the end of November we'll have one. But I'll just I'll put on my snake boots and come out here and go around and pick up all the limbs and all my wood scraps and stuff and get a fire going, and I just keep feeding that fire all day long. Rusty says that does not cover recreational fires. Yeah, I've actually messaged the Henry County Fire Department on Facebook, and I asked them about that. And I said, is it okay to burn stuff in a fire pit or something? He says, yeah, if you're cooking something or whatever. But the kind of fires I have aren't really those kind of fires.
Yeah, back in when I'm down in Miami, it's ridiculous. It's they allow you to burn only a small little campfire in your backyard if your neighbor doesn't complain. Because as soon as he complains, the fire department comes out and they ask you to turn it off.
Yeah.
No matter how small. It's ridiculous. Unless it's like a barbecue or in a barbecue grill or something.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, there's two reasons I wouldn't. I mean, we're out of the burn ban now, but I wouldn't try to start a fire right now anyway, for two reasons. One, it's still too freaking hot. Because when you're trying to get a big fire going, you're standing right next to it and it's already 90 degrees. Anyway, that's not a good time to have a fire. And the other thing is it's so dry. We haven't had any rain. And right now there's not a breath of wind anywhere. But if I was to go start a fire, I guarantee you it would kick up. That's the way it always does. So I'm always careful because I don't want to burn my house down as well as anybody else's. So
we're lucky down here in Central Florida. Today let me show you the sky.
All right. Let me say good morning to Joey Spain Howard. He's watching again this morning. How you doing? Bill Larison says, I love burning things. Mickey won't allow me to carry matches anymore. Yeah, well, there's a little bit of a pyromaniac in all of us, I think. I love watching a good fire. Doing well.
Clear skies.
Caught your live stream when it's live.
It's there's no burn ban down here, which is nice. And it's dry today. But which I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But like you said, Dave, it's way too hot to be burning.
Yeah, because you're going to sweat just standing there, much less being close to the fire trying to throw stuff on it. So Troy says it's been raining for about 2 weeks straight, temps between 50s and 70s. I would take a few days of that rain. We have, I'm looking at my little rain gauge over there now, and it's bone dry. And I think, I can't remember, I haven't watched recently, but I know the other day the weather guy that I watch, he was talking about the rain deficit, and I think we're at about 6 or 7 inches for this area right now.
The only thing that's driving me nuts around here, and it's getting on my nerves, is those stupid love bugs.
Oh yeah, those things are everywhere.
Oh my God. I can't, you can't walk without having them fly in your face or buzz all over you or land on
Yeah.
you. Yeah, but they're annoying because there's so many of them.
Harry says he's got 81 degrees and he's 20 miles from you, Javi. Tell him
right.
Tell him where you're at, Harry. I think
I'm in Lady Lake. Where are you at, Harry?
It starts with a no, I think, where he's at. The only reason I know that is because I just mailed his
Ocala?
guitar. No, it's Ovida or something like
Ovida? Or Lido or Ovida?
I don't know how you say it, but it's something like that. Let's see. We got a Michael Bell in the house. To keep my neighbors from complaining, I just invite them over. Oh, for a fire? Yeah, that might work. Y'all let me know. I don't know how many. It looks like we've got 9 watching here on Face. I think that number was the Facebook number. I don't know how many's on YouTube, and I don't know if I dare try to go look because I'm on this laptop. I'll try to do it. Let's see if it makes everything crap out here. But however many we got watching, y'all let me know what you think of these little morning coffee sessions. We always seem to have a good steady stream of folks passing through. So mid-90s in Arizona, and we are loving it after 110. Yeah, I guess 90 would feel cool. That's almost like here. It hadn't quite been in the hundreds. I think we got to 100 one day, but we're like 95 or higher pretty much every day. And so when it does dip to like 89, you're like, yeah. You know, it says it's 82 in Estero, Florida.
Oh, Estero. Okay.
Suburb of Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
There's Barbara watching from Niceville, Florida, as she works. Thank you for tuning in, Barb. Let's see here. There's Jeff Nearcorn. I'm gonna keep saying that name. I think I got it right now. He's saying hello to Grant. So Grant must be in here somewhere. I don't know where. I didn't see him. 16 watching on YouTube. Okay, thank you, Light Speed there. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that back off then, because 73 here in Virginia Mountains. That would be pretty sweet.
Nice.
16 on YouTube. 16. Let's see what we got here. This mouse I'm using, well, of course, it's the laptop and the hotspot and all that. It's much slower. So I click on something, and by the time it clicks, the comments have scrolled up, so I end up missing one. Had 90 degrees in Wisconsin, but temps just dropped to typical mid 50 to 60. Harry says the most, let's see. David says, great, but I had my bag of coffee half a pot. He says the most boring job would be a weatherman in Florida. Yeah. What do they say? Hot and chance of showers every day? Scattered showers.
Pretty much.
I could probably be a weatherman. Yeah, I could probably be a weatherman in Florida, I'm thinking. Let's see. We've got Malcolm. Where do you go? Here we go. We got Malcolm from Cyprus. What's wrong with my mouse here? There we go. Mark Lindsay says it was weird for us this summer. Only had 2 days over 100 degrees and the wettest summer since 2000. Yeah, we started off really wet. We got a lot of rain which I guess looking back, it's probably a good thing we did because we haven't had any at all here lately. But we actually had a little bit of a surplus, but it didn't take long once that drought kicked in. Yeah, Mark says, I imagine hurricane season gets a little bit exciting for the weathermen in Florida. Yeah, I know a while back it seems like they had like 6 of them going all at one time. I think it's kind of quieted down now. So is that your air conditioner thing, Javi?
Yeah, it keeps saying water full, and I just emptied it 2 seconds ago. I'm just gonna let it spill on the table and then when it runs off the side, I'll put my bucket under it.
Yeah. Barbara, if you're still watching, Rocky and Jack want to say hello. Let's see if I can. There's the Jackster and Rocky laying back there. Jack's been chasing his ball. Where's your ball at? You didn't bring your ball. Go get it. He loves chasing that ball. Oh, there it is right down there. He just didn't bring it up. All right, let's see what else we got going on over here. Yeah, Mark Lindsay, I will have to agree. He says you got to get some insulation in there, Javi. I'm sure he'll get some. He says you need some insulation in there.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
That'll tamp down the echo stuff. Jim Bashir's in the house. Glad you stopped by, Jim. How you doing? Always good to see you here. Mark says howdy. Yeah, we won't be on here long because since I got such a late start. Now don't chew on my wires down there, boy. Give me that ball. Thank you. Thank you. Go get it. Well, we're getting Javi's best side too for all this.
Sorry about that. I gotta put that on the ground is what I gotta do.
David Stewart.
It kicks on.
David Stewart says spray foam. I guess that could be an option.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that the AC cools this place real nice. It's 95 outside, and this place is 70. Well, listen to the echo. It's an 8x10 room, 8x9, 7x9, whatever. But soon as, for some reason or other, the water. When it says the water is full, which I just emptied it, so I just took the plug off because something wrong with it there. It kicks off.
Yeah.
Let me try it again.
Mark Lindsay says, I get to re-record this weekend's video, so I understand technical issues. Yeah. I don't know what, like I said, I don't know what my deal was this morning. In fact, I think I pretty much ruled out anything on my end. I think Spectrum's having some issues. They are building houses are flying up, not right here where I'm at, but in surrounding little areas down the road and stuff. They keep, you drive by there one day and there's just where they've knocked the trees down, and you drive by a few days later and there's 4 or 5 houses popping up. So I don't know whether they're, Spectrum may be out here doing something, tinkering with the internet or not, but I restarted the router and then did a internet speed test. And normally I mean, I don't have super fast speeds, but it's always, you know, good enough for live streams and all that stuff. And it even said, yeah, you might be okay to browse, but for doing videos and stuff, it's not near fast enough. So, and that's after I'd restarted the router and restarted the computer and the whole 9 yards. So I don't, I don't think it was on my end, but I thought, well, this will give me an opportunity to test this hotspot thing again because I've only used that one time. It actually works pretty good. It's probably a little slower than.
Yeah, your voice is a tiny bit scratchy, as I'm sure mine is.
Is it? Okay.
But other than that, yeah, you're intelligible, but it's just it's just scratchy. That's all.
Yeah. Well,
You're not
since I had,
roboting or anything like that.
yeah, since I thought I would bring this laptop and set out here at my little table out here on the deck, I thought, well, I'll bring the minimum stuff. But I mean, I did grab my webcam because it's much better than the laptop webcam. That one really sucks. And I do have my big old mic here, like usual. But just brought my my phone to use the hotspot, and of course I've got it plugged into this awesome battery bank thing that I bought the other day. I love that thing. It's amazing how many times you can charge your phone with that thing.
Yep.
So let's see what we got going on here. Mark says just hang some fiberglass bats. That way you can sell the container after you're done with it. Progress, ain't it?
Yeah,
great?
I gotta consider insulating it. That depends. I mean, if the AC. The other thing I was thinking of is just going for about $100, buying a window unit. I'll be done with it and just kick the air into the rest of the container because I got that partition there and I've got fans in the rest of the containers. So, I mean, I don't have to be making any holes in the ground or anything.
Yeah. Thank you, Gareth. I appreciate your comment there. Like I said, I just thought I'd do a few of these and kind of see what the response is. But it seems like every morning we have a good stream of folks coming in and out. And like I said, it's nothing really, no hot topics or anything. Just kind of drinking coffee and shooting the breeze and talk about whatever comes up in the chat or whatever. But speaking of phones, I said I was using my phone as a hotspot. Mark says my audio is nice and clear for him. Javi's obviously on a wireless.
Then
we're all kind of on a wireless because I'm on a hotspot as well.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I'm on my as you can see, Mark, the ladder there on top of the ladder. That's where my hotspot / phone is.
Well, since
it must be me then.
Yeah, since we've got a few folks watching here, before we sign out of here, I wanted to ask y'all a question. I saw a commercial for the Apple Pro 11, I think or Apple 11 Pro, whichever way you say it.
Yeah.
It's the latest, greatest thing from Apple. And I just wonder how many people are planning on getting one of those, or how many people, I don't know if they're already available yet. But I saw a commercial on TV, and then that made of course they don't say how much it is. So I thought, well, I wonder what those things run these days. And I went and checked, and my jaw about dropped when I saw what Apple is. I got to hand it to Apple. They've done a great job of brainwashing their followers into thinking you got to have one of these, because every time they come out with something new, doesn't matter how much it costs, people stand in line to get those things or whatever.
Well, but the problem is this, Dave. Once you own an Apple phone, there are certain things like iMessage, like for instance, my wife almost can't get away from an Apple phone because all of her friends own them, all her work companions, and she has a lot of work on iMessage, on groups on iMessage, and it's not compatible with text. But that's one. Another reason is, like, for instance, here with the Hangouts. Well, maybe it's just this particular model, but my LG Android, I tried yesterday, and there was no way I could get on directly with the LG. Yet, if I use it as a hotspot, I'm here with my Apple phone, and it's working fine.
Yeah, here he sums it up pretty good. Here he says, when you go to check out an Apple phone, that right off they say $700 off. I'm thinking, well, if they can afford to give $700 off, how much must that thing cost? And just looking now, not with a trade-in phone, because I guess they give you a discount if you got a certain type of phone that they want as a trade-in.
Yeah.
But it was like $999 for I think the 64 gigabyte capacity. The 256 gigabyte capacity I think was about $1150, and the 256 gigabyte capacity was like $1350. And I'm thinking, dang, that's a lot of money for a freaking phone. I know they're more than a phone, but
yeah, I've been on Apple for most of, since the Apple III and since the first iPhone. And you know what? I'm just about done. I mean, I'm just about done with Apple. It's gotten to the point that it's too ridiculous.
I've had one Apple, and that was like one of the really early ones. I can't even remember what it was. Was it I don't know, 3G? Might have been even earlier than that. I don't know. But I didn't really like it that well. I got it, and what I did is I bought a refurbished phone, because back then, like I said, that was the thing. Everybody was buying Apples. My boss had one, my coworker had one, and I remember my coworker bought a brand new one. He paid like $400, which back then that was a lot of money. And I bought a refurb one just like his for $150. And I mean, it didn't have a damn scratch on it. But I just didn't like the Apple thing. I'm not an Apple guy. And this one I've had this thing. I don't know. Somebody out there maybe can tell me when the Samsung Galaxy S5 came out. It's been several years ago, but it keeps working. I have to charge it, at least usually at least twice a day, if not 3 times a day. But other than that, it still works. I'm using it for this hotspot.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing that's upsetting about the Apple is the battery. I mean, I've got a 6 Plus, an original 6 Plus, and unfortunately, that's the model that has the problem with the touchscreen, which is why I'm not using it. And it's a well-known problem. And guess what? Apple, of course, for $125, if it's out of warranty, $125, and we'll give you a refurbished one. Well, I got a refurbished one. Same thing happened. Guess what? I'm screwed. I'm done with Apple. I'm done. But the battery is what's most upsetting. On my other little LG, I run out of battery. Oh, I pop the case off, drop another battery in, and I'm done. And I'm set. Keep one charging along, so I don't have to be plugged in all the time. But if you want your phone to be waterproof, I suppose you can't have that.
Yeah, looks like there's a lot of other folks out there watching that prefer the Android stuff. It's just, like I said, it's just amazing to me what a great job Apple does at brainwashing the younger generation, I guess, thinking that you got to have this. This is way better than the last one, even though you bought it, 6 months ago. And people are putting out that money.
That way quite a while back, but when the Samsung, I think it was the 6 or the 7 came out, one of those two, the tables were turned, everything's even, and actually the Samsungs are probably better quality than the bottom line is they don't have an edge anymore. And it's the only edge that they have is that they've got such a large customer base that they there's no way, if people are set in their ways, and in order to continue with the operating system that you're comfortable with and you're used to, you gotta spend $1,000. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I had like I said, I had the Apple, and then I got Galaxy something. I can't even remember what it was, and then I had then I've been sticking with Android, but in that old Galaxy, whatever it was, S1 or 2 or whatever, it was a long time ago. It actually went crazy on me. I took it to work one day and I set it down on my desk, and it just started going, vibrating. I'm like, what the heck's going on? And I never could get it to stop. And I, took it to the AT&T place, and they said, yeah, it's, it's not repairable or whatever. So I still got it. But I got this S5, and like I said, that was a long time, because I was still working for somebody else then, so I know that was probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And this little S5 here, as long as it doesn't do the, crap out and do the same thing, I will.
It's funny. Like I told you, I had the 6 Plus, and before it started messing up on me, I left it. This is just so funny. I left it in a shopping cart at Walmart, the Walmart parking lot. It's a miracle I got it back, but I left it in the parking lot because I was unloading my bags. I forgot my CRS, and while I was out of a phone, I went over to Boost, and they put my number on or they just gave me a temporary phone. So, because I wanted to search for it was $50. That LG phone that I have, $50, and I just got a contract for a month. And I tracked my phone down. Luckily, they had it at customer service, and I was very happy and stuff. But the LG phone was sitting for 6 months just in a drawer. And recently, when my Apple went bad, I switched. Took a second. I switched over to the LG, and I've been very happy with it. It's a $50 phone. It's a little, it's Android, but it's
I've still got a. We'll take a trip back in time. I've still got a Motorola Razr phone.
Nice.
Remember those things, the little flip thing, and they were little too.
I remember the brick phone. Yeah.
It's weird how the phone thing works, because they started out. You had these big bricks, the Nokias and all that kind of stuff. And then they worked to shrink them down, and they kept shrinking them and shrinking them and shrinking them. And then it's like, well, we can't see the screen. We want bigger screen where we can put more icon, So next thing you know, they start getting bigger and bigger. And now you got these, I don't know what they call them, the Note phones or whatever. And those things are almost like tablets. You can't, I don't know if I could even fit one in my back pocket, but.
My dad's a contractor and general contractor, and he, back in, I don't know, I guess the 70s, maybe 80s, his buddies, other contractors, had the mobile phones and the suitcases and stuff like that. And my dad, I remember the first time he got a phone, it was the brick phone. And I was just outraged. I'm going to myself, Dad, you're just throwing away money. Are you out of your mind? 65 cents a minute, because that's what it was. 65 cents a minute, plus you're paying a base of $100 a month or something like that. And he goes to me, I've got 5 job sites, and if I'm late one day on one of those job sites, it's $1,000 a day. So 65 cents a minute just to make sure all my men are working. That's not, you know, and it's true. It's the cost of doing business, and you never think about that. But imagine having to pay 65 cents a minute for your cell phone.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because people change cell phones like they change socks. But I remember back in the day, my parents bought a new house in 1960, and you know, back then you get the phone from Ma Bell and all that, and they had the it was a wall mount, you know, the kind of the ugly off-white or whatever it was, and then the cord would get stretched out about 15 or 20 feet. And when they moved to Georgia, that was in Indiana, and they lived there from 1960 to 1980. And then when they moved to Georgia, they took the phone off the wall, and so it stayed at their house over in Conyers for, well, as far as I know, it's probably still hanging in that house. But you know, so you and it still works. You know, back then they made stuff. Of course, now they got cell phones. Like people change them like they change their socks or whatever.
Those Western Electric phones were fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I guess we probably should. Or Dave says he has the Note 8. It fits in his back pocket. Okay.
Oh, that's good. How much is the Note 8? A couple $100, or is it a lot more?
I have no idea. Remember paying for internet access by the minute? I just
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking all this old stuff. I just remember you go to walk into a grocery store, any grocery store in the U.S., anywhere, and there'd always be a rack right out front or right when you walk into the store full of those AOL discs or the what was the other one? And I'm not talking CD disc. I'm talking the 3.5 floppy disk.
CompuServe Information Service. Yeah.
CompuServe. Yeah. I had a CompuServe account back in the day and an AOL account.
You are talking CD. You're not talking DVD.
Yeah, and I used to, you know, I'm terrible.
The little discs. Yeah, the floppies. Yeah.
I was so cheap back then. I used to take, you know, because you get them in the mail all the time too. So I would take them and take a piece of tape and cover up that hole and just use them as blank floppies, so I wouldn't have to buy any.
Oh yeah, I did the same thing. With the CDs. I had a buddy of mine that, and a few people did this because it was a craze back then. They made a jacket out of all the CDs that they got from AOL CDs.
I know, Zach, you were probably just a twinkle in your dad's eye when AOL come out. And God loved the dial-up connection. You gotta love that.
I was just gonna say we can all do that.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're trying to download something and somebody goes and picks up the phone right when you almost got it all downloaded. Man, today's kids just don't know the pain we had to endure with this internet stuff. I use my phone on my phone. 5.25 floppy. Yeah, I've been there, done that.
Yep, 8-inch floppies as well.
Zach at Earthlink.net. That's fairly modern though, because I used to have a Dave Gatton at Earthlink.net for a long time. Good old dial-up with Earthlink. You know, I got an email the other day. I don't know how this works, but I got an email from a guy just yesterday, and it was blah blah at AOL.com. And I'm thinking, every time I see one of those, I'm like, gosh, I didn't even know that stuff was still around. But there's still people that have an AOL address here. Still have AutoCAD Lite, release 12 on floppy. I got a whole box. I'm a hoarder anyway. I got a box of floppy disk from every program I've ever had, probably. There used to be a really cool genealogy program called Brothers Keeper, but it was on 3.5 floppies, and it was a DOS program. It wasn't it wasn't even Windows. It was a DOS.
Most of them were.
Yeah. CDs coming in the mail. I remember when 56K dial-up, huge upgrade. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I went in.
Screen monitors.
When I went to high school, we had a cutting edge 110 baud modem and an acoustical modem. You put the handset on the modem. We would call up because we were connected to FIU with one of their servers, the UNIVAC 1108, and we would call up. We'd listen for the beep, and then we put the phone on the modem, and it was purely text-based. Forget about graphics at that unless the graphics were made out of text.
Mark Lizzie said, I thought it was cool when I got a 19.2K modem. Yeah. Yeah, you were hot spit back then for a little while. For a few months anyway, until something better come out. Started with a TRS-80 and 4K memory. Yeah, my first computer was a Commodore VIC-20, where you type everything in. You'd have, if you were in the middle of typing some little stupid thing in, you had to leave it plugged in and turn on because there wasn't any way to save anything. And then you get really fancy and you get the little cassette tape thing.
I had a
man, those were the days.
I had an Apple II, ever loyal Apple fan. I had an Apple II Revision 0 board. That was the original Apple II that came out after the Apple I. There were only like 500 Apple Is. So the Apple II, I loved it because you could expand it and you could pop in the slots and all that. It was innovative. And I got the cassette and it was pretty well to do. So I had I think we paid, it was $2,000 for a 5 megabyte Apple Profile. It was the model, a 5 megabyte hard drive. And that was like 8-inch, 5 1/4 or 8-inch platters, and a whole bunch of them inside this beautiful. Apple always knows how to make a beautiful case. I still remember that thing. I saved all my programs on it.
As I go through these comments here, I'm starting to see a pattern. I'm beginning to think my whole audience is a bunch of old jokers.
Your whole audience is what?
Look. I said my whole audience is a bunch of old jokers. Look here, saved everything on audio tape. Mark's got this one will bring back some memories. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Load, start. Remember those? That's the Commodore stuff. Let's see. Earl Walker, Tandy 1000, 85.
I had a TRS. I had a TI 994. It was a Texas Instruments, but the TI 994. I remember it was sold at Bernard's. This was actually prior to my Apple. I was about to buy a TRS-80 Model 1. And then I saw in a store the TI 994, which not the /A, which was later. It was the TI 994, which had a chiclet keyboard, and it sold for $1,200. And I got it for Christmas. I had it for about a month. Thank goodness for Bird Eye's return policy, because I returned it and bought the Apple II, which for the same money was much more useful and a lot longer lived. But that TI 994, like 2 or 3 months later, they discontinued that model, or rather renamed it the TI 994A, gave it a regular keyboard instead of that chiclet keyboard, and they dropped the price by a third.
Yeah, see what happens when you stay on these lives long enough. You get folks like this sneaking in here. Matt Awesomewood thing.
I can't. Oh,
Matt Awesomewood thing Toss, aka the Piano Man.
We're
I love this
reminiscing
guy.
about old computers.
I love this guy until he put this comment on here where he says, "I'm not 50 yet." You're still wet behind the ears, Matt.
Yeah.
Holy cow. I can barely remember when I was 50. Commodore PET, yeah, that's an oldie but a goodie.
The Commodore PET, the Sinclair.
Lodestar.
I had a Sinclair that I bought just for school. That was a great little toy.
Yeah, I'm thinking Matt Hoss is probably the youngest one watching this right now. From the looks of these comments, everybody's saying, "I had this old, holy cow, green text on a black." Been there, done that.
I worked for at 17 years old. I used to be in Radio Shack all the time, and I used to start programming the TRS-80. I learned how to program it, and I sat there, and the manager. One time he was doing inventory, and I told him, because I was always into electronics, I told him which 4-speed items, the ones in the small packages, the chips and all, resistors and all that. I told him which ones to buy, because the 555 timers and all that, they were always out of them, and they were the most popular ones. He goes to me, "You want a job?" And I said, "Sure, why not?" And I worked on and off with Radio Shack. I was such a fanboy of the Shack that I must have gone through just about every portable computer. Those little. They used to have these little tiny pocket computers, and with a tiny keyboard and a one-line LCD display. I even had the Tandy 100. That I call it my first laptop.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely got the old school audience here, looks like.
Those are great times.
Jack's photo bombing back there. Oh man, well, we're gonna have to wind this up, because not only are we running on getting close to being on there an hour, but it's starting to get warm out here. It was halfway cool.
I wouldn't know. I'm in an air conditioning.
Yeah, the sun. Well, I don't know if you can tell from my hair, but the sun's popping through. The back this way is east, and the sun's starting to pop through these trees, and the shaded area on my deck here is starting to disappear. So we got a serious question here. Not that this is a serious show, because it absolutely isn't. Hey, look who's in the house here. We got Miter Mike in the house. How you doing, Mike? Hope little McKenna's doing well. I saw she was getting getting the old fuzzy head back. That's great. Remember their free battery a month club. Let's see. We got a serious question.
Oh yeah.
This will be our first ever serious question on this episode of Coffee Sessions. Let's see if it says dip switch number 4, stand still current. Should it be on or off? You can run it either way. If you, I don't have one of those drivers in front of me, but if you turn it on, I believe the current's high all the time. And if you turn it off, I believe it idles down. Javi, do you remember that one exactly?
Switch, which switch?
Dip switch number 4 on on those drivers, they'll have like 8 dip switches.
Oh yeah.
And number 4 is the one to either turn the full current on or off, I think. And I believe if it's on, then you got full current all the time. And if you leave it off, it will be on when it needs to be and idles down. I believe that's the difference. Either, you can try it both ways, Leroy, because it'll work either way as long as you have all your other dip switches set correctly for the steps per unit. So we got Frankie. I just hope you get some insulation or something soon. That echo's crazy, man.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I mean, I know you can't do it. I know you can't do anything about it because it's like you're sitting in a tin can or something.
Oh, all I need is a big sheet. All I need is a big sheet behind me.
Which I mean, technically,
I can hang them off the things.
Yeah, I mean, technically, you are kind of sitting in a tin can. Just a big, just a big rectangle can.
Yeah, you see, I've got those hangers welded to them, so I can just hang a big sheet. That'll really diminish the sound. But yeah, I'm basically in a tin can.
Jim Senecola says, "Have a great day. Got to go get my steps. Get a few for me too, Jim. I need."
That's not a bad idea.
I need to get some steps here. All right. Well, I hope we answered your question. Like I said, it'll work either way. You'll just have to try it and see which way you like better. I think I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you guys for joining in here. This is fun. Like I said, leave your comments either in the chat or if you're watching on YouTube and you're watching this as a replay, leave your comments. Let me know what you think of these. Like I said, it's just kind of a anything goes session. We just wait and see who shows up in the chat, what kind of comments we get, and that's what we talk about. So I get to get some steps laid down until that urge passes. Yeah, me and you both, buddy. I got to do better though. I was walking on the treadmill there for a while, and I've gotten pretty slack lately, so I got to get back on that. I had actually lost about 10 or 12 pounds, but I think I might have gained some back going to that reunion because I had some good food up there. So
yeah, my issue is over here. I exercise like a beast, but the problem is I eat even more. So when I'm over here, it's all ice cream and pizza. And I really gotta if I just slowed the. It's funny because I had a nutritionist buddy of mine tell me everybody thinks it's 50-50 food and exercise, and it's not. It's 80-20. It's 80% of weight loss is your diet. And it's true because I'm exercising constantly out here. And I'm losing maybe a pound, if that. And I should be dropping them like flies.
Treadmill. Mark says there's cheaper things to hang your clothes on. Yeah, I actually had one. I bought one not long after I bought this house, and then it got to be where it just was just something else to set junk on. So I sold it, and then when Barbara was selling her house and moving to Florida, she had one, the same brand, but actually a much nicer treadmill than the one I had. And she says, "Well, I'm not going to take this to Florida, wheel it down to the curb or whatever." And oh no, you can't do that. I said, "I'll take it." She looked at me funny, like, "You're gonna walk on a treadmill?" But yeah, I got it set up, and I have a TV mounted on the wall right in front of it. So a lot of times I'll put it on a podcast or a live stream or something. Something that's going to last about an hour, and I'll walk. But I've been a little slack. David was asking, will there be a Saturday morning show? Probably not. I thought this would just kind of be a weekday thing. Because I do the Saturday night show anyway. That little CNC thing I do. So probably will not do one tomorrow morning. But it's always fun to get on.
What day's today?
Today's Friday, TGIF.
Holy cow. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I thought today was Saturday. I thought I lost a day somewhere.
No, today, unless I'm wrong, it's October 4th. It's Friday. Oh, and I should mention, I haven't been doing it. I've been, like I said, I've been a little slack on some of this stuff here. But I haven't even mentioned, let's see if I can find it here. We've got the ridiculous stepper motor knob challenge running through today. And I have got 6 entries. It's $100 winner take all on this thing. I've got 6 entries, and 3 of those entries are from the same guy. So he's set the bar pretty high. Let's see. I think Jerry Brown did one. Jerry Coleman did one. I'm probably going to forget somebody. I can't remember who the other person is, but Mike Haichu has done 3 of them. So, but it's not too late. If you get out there and you shop and make something ridiculous and send me the link, I get it added to the playlist and all. And then, of course, tomorrow on the CNC show, I will be announcing the winner. So, and also, I haven't been talking about this much, but the next live drawing for a license plate guitar giveaway will be the 3rd Saturday of this month, 10/19. So if you want to enter, actually I shouldn't post that banner because there isn't a link below yet, but I may throw one on there. But anywho, I think we're going to wrap this up. Avi, thank you for joining me. It's always fun to have somebody on here with me. Because
glad to be here, Dave.
At least I don't feel like I'm just sitting here talking to myself as much when there's somebody else. Garrett says, what's CNC?
I'm going to see if I get some type of a sheet in the office and then paint it green. So then maybe put some background on it.
Barry Curtis wants to know, what is the name of my water meter? Are you talking about the little spinny thing on my water hose for my spindle? Because if that's what you're talking about, this fella right here is the one that sent me that. And I don't know where he got it. He just got a bunch of them, and he gave me one.
Amazon, look for a flow meter. The tough part is, if that's what you're talking about, the tough part is be careful because some of them are for 1/4-inch lines. Some of them are for 6 millimeter line. Well, it's hard to find a 6 millimeter one.
Yeah.
And the lines that come stock with at least our spindle are 6 millimeters. So kind of have to get some sort of a reducer or something. But
mine works good. Mine works good. Sometimes it'll stop spinning, and I just grab the line and I shake them real good because I found that they, if you don't use them for a few days, that you get air in them, and sometimes it takes a minute to get the air out. But I just shake the heck out of them up near where my bucket is and up where the spindle is, and I usually get it spinning pretty good. So
I do the old take the compressor and just blow air through the whole line, and flush it out that way. But I found something out. Those things are actually not, even though they work kind of bidirectional, they're not meant to be bidirectional. There's one direction that it spins real nicely, and the other direction that it spins slowly and always gets stuck.
Yeah.
So I flip mine over, and now it's running all the time.
Yeah. All right. Well, folks, I appreciate you all joining us this morning. Sorry we were late, getting a late start on the coffee sessions, but we will get our computer issues sorted out, or hopefully Spectrum will, and be ready to do a show Saturday night for the CNC stuff. So I guess that's all I got. Javi, you got anything you want to talk about real quick before we get out of here?
No, I'm good. For those of you who are interested in I mean woodworking, but right now I've been taking a sabbatical for the last year or so, clearing out my land. So if you don't know, go to Javi's Wood Shop uh, on YouTube and subscribe to me. I'd appreciate it. Enjoy all my Make Room for Hobby videos, which from number 17 on shows this land in its pristine condition and how I've cleared it out to look like almost a park. And I'll be building a house eventually, et cetera, et cetera. Enjoy watching the progress.
Yep. It's yeah, and you made a lot of progress too. It's amazing to me how much you've got done in just what, a little over a year. I think you've been doing this.
Yeah, August was a year, and it's fantastic. I mean, I love that, and I've been slowing down. I've been well, squirrel everything now with the container. I've been spending time on the container. I'm just gonna mow and I still have the bamboo, and I've been procrastinating, and I still have the very 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 front to clear, but that's it. I mean, other than that, right now it's just maintain and wait until I'm ready to start the house, which will be a couple years.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. Again, if you're a CNC guy or gal, be sure and check out the CNC with Dave show tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. We're going to have Ryan Ballard on there talking about controlling your CNC with a Raspberry Pi. So I'm looking forward to that.
Same here.
Make sure you tune in. And I guess that's it. We'll see y'all Monday, hopefully at 0900. We'll see. But I thank everybody for tuning in. These things have been a lot of fun. I hope y'all are enjoying them. And if you are, leave a thumbs up or like or whatever it is you do. And we will, I guess, talk to y'all Monday morning if you don't catch me tomorrow night. So we're out of here. Everybody have an awesome weekend.
Good night, all. Or good day.